Good morning, peeps. Just left the hostel, which is right there. Walked over to the bus station, and I'm now going to pick up a 9 o'clock in the morning shuttle bus, which will take me, first of all, to Palanga, a small resort town which is just up the coast, north of Klaipeda. And from there I will change buses to go to the main destination, a little settlement, tiny wee little settlement, but with some interesting things there. A place called Sventoji. Where's my bus? Talk about convenient. Here comes our little blue means of transport. Bus number 31. There are other bus services to Palanga, but they are not so frequent as these mini shuttle buses, which, as you can see from the timetable, which is posted here, go very regularly. And not only that, they also post, conveniently, the little buses which run to the airport. That's Oro Uostas. So 7, 8:30, 9 o'clock, 10:15, 10:50, 11:45, and there's even some in the evening up till 9:10. So if you're arriving or departing using Palanga's airport, very useful. But here are our bus services to Palanga, and again, very many and pretty frequent. But there is that little gap after 10:15, you'll notice, until 1:45. So don't leave it too late to have your breakfast in the morning if you want to go on a day trip to Palanga, or if, like me, you want to get your 10 o'clock connection in Palanga to Sventoji, then you really need to get this one and only bus, the number 31. Let's hope there's a seat for me. Yeah, no worries. Labas from Palanga. I've just had a bit of just a cotton picking second moment. Went into the bus station after my little marshrutka bus had arrived after about 30 to 35 minutes, I guess. Bus was full, I would say. So even though it's midweek, you can't buy the ticket in advance. You hopefully will be okay and have no problems getting to Palanga on that 9 o'clock bus, which I've just used. You can only buy the ticket from the driver in the moment. It's €2.20. You then validate the ticket he gives you at a little box just behind where he sits, and yeah, it's okay. If you're using the little buses for transporting your full luggage and you're traveling with a lot, good luck with that. I'm just on a day trip, so I've just got my small snack pack on my back. Anyway, here, just a cotton picking second moment came when I was looking on the posts that they've got, the bus stops, and checking the timetables, and found one for Sventoji which didn't look good. First bus, 12:55. Hold on, I checked online and it said first bus 10 o'clock in the morning. There's a discrepancy. I went into the bus station and the lady was able to clarify that the marshrutka buses, the little mini buses, start from 10 o'clock in the morning. And for that bus, I need to go up to almost the last bus stop, number 14. Don't come here and get all panicky the way I did. Marshrutkas, number 3, Sventoji, 10 o'clock. There are some earlier ones. If you're a really early bird, at the bus station here, there is a big supermarket. Basically, I needed to have a couple of snacks while I'm in Sventoji because I'm going to be walking around a fair bit. And I also needed to break a banknote. I broke a 20 euro banknote to get some change to give to the marshrutka drivers because I've got to get to Sventoji and I've got to get back. And I've also got to get from Palanga here back to Klaipeda. So I've got 3 more fares where the bus driver is probably going to want to have coins rather than a 20 euro banknote. It's the usual place where we break our big banknotes, isn't it? We've all learned that in the past, I'm sure. Hang on a minute. Palanga Airport, Sventoji, Palanga. Is this marshrutka? It's a flipping big marshrutka. If that, this one's servicing the airport as well as Sventoji, but it's the number 3, so I think this must actually be my means of getting to Sventoji. Oh well, I don't mind a big bus, better than a small typical marshrutka. I think this will work nicely. Very convenient for Palanga Airport. Right you are, mateys. Only 15 minutes to the airport, but you've got to add to that 10 minutes because the bus sat in central Palanga for some reason. A few stops along the way where different people were getting on and off, but all in all 10:35 we're here, and there are a few stops in Sventoji itself. The final stop where the bus is going no further is the one where I've arrived, and just in case I need to check where I am and what there is to see and do, I've taken the trouble to download from Google Maps a little snapshot just in case there was going to be any issue with losing a signal. So here's my iPhone image of where I am, where I'm going, what there is to see and do, and places which might just help me identify where I went wrong. Always handy. Could have used maps.me. That works too. Now, where has the bus brought us to? The town is really, settlement is really developed compared to when I was here last, 15 years ago, actually more, closer probably to about 17 years ago. Very handily, the bus stop has brought us to what here has been identified as the Red Bridge, but somebody's repainted it, or there's a red bridge coming up afterwards, because this has turned into a sort of caramel and blue bridge. I guess it's one-way traffic only. Does that mean you can go, but you can't come back? Lithuanians know the dangers. and the restrictions, but I'm afraid I do not. The sea is just over there. Thought we were going to be getting away from it all a little bit in this off the beaten track destination, but the locals clearly know about Sventoji. There is considerable development before you get off the bus. You see plenty of places for drinking and having fun and eating. So many wooden chalets. It's really a remarkable transformation, because when I came here last, it really was quite a rusty old bridge. It was really dilapidated. And over this side of the bridge, there was an old Soviet era sanatorium, place of rest. It's been entirely redeveloped, which perhaps shouldn't be a surprise. There is an information board here. Welcome to the Coronian land. Well, thanks for that. But that's the only bit in English. Until you get to this map, which is a little bit weather-worn, to say the least. But we can make out some things in Lithuanian, Latvian and English. One of the places we're going to be going to is up here, Žemaičių Alkas. Why do I even bother trying? My pronunciation sucks. Anyway, it's a reconstructed model from 1998 of a pagan place of worship with a paleoastronomic observatory which existed in the 15th century on Biruta Hill in Palanga. Sculptures carved by the artists represent the Baltic gods. I remember it well. Glad to see it's still there. And the Fisherman's Daughters is a 4-metre high expressive sculptural composition representing 3 girls gazing at the sea and waiting for their father's return from fishing. That dates to 1982. Come all the way up this morning from Klaipėda to Palanga to change bus and up to Sventoji. We could go straight there, unless we were black dogs, then we wouldn't be welcome. Your guess is as good as mine. Oh, Švyturys is the name of this piece. I think you've had probably quite a few glasses of Švyturys beer before you've conceived such a design. Or maybe you need plenty of Švyturys before you can really appreciate the meaning of that sculpture. Yeah, that will be it. I am questioning my sanity, you might say. I might be questioning my sanity coming this way and bothering to record these sculptures energeticas. A holiday camp now, fit for the 21st century, where you can be energetic. Spa Amber Palace. Ooh, there's fancy. So while you might well visit Palanga for some, I would call it, from my experience of probably 8 years ago, an expensive and rowdy and raucous nightlife in the summer. Alternatively, you can come here for a more thoughtful, peaceful, quiet relaxing holiday destination. This piece is called, as if you didn't know, Musica from 2014. Okay, I'll take that word for it. Snake King. Or is it the Loch Ness Monster with a crown? And I'm relieved to say this doesn't go on forever, because it's really pushing it, isn't it? Let's be honest, it's really, yeah. We don't need to even ask, but is it art? Collectors of contemporary pieces of sculpture may care to disagree. But it could just be that I'm a Philistine and know nothing. You know what, I think I'm going to head to the beach. I've had enough of this sculpture. You know what, it's doing my head in. Feel like a right plonker walking around here. Trying to make head or tail of polished stones and long worms with crowns and naked women with a double bass fretboard coming out of the top of the neck. I mean, what's all that about? Hello, where did you come from? You've been sunbathing?
Looks like you're up to no good anyway. Probably chasing the birds.
Forest, sand dune, beach, all together in harmony. Isn't this much nicer than that nonsense sculpture back there? I mean, let's be honest. Let's take a little walk here. We're still just a stone's throw from the sea. Hoping that we're going to come across that ancient observatory in wooden stakes. I don't honestly know how I found it all those years ago. Google Maps actually puts it in two separate places. The map back at the information board suggested that you could see it right here, very close to the bridge itself, which is making me wonder if I'm going in the right direction. Our bridge and it's a little bit of a mystery, isn't it, at the moment? And I should warn you about wandering through the sand dunes. You might think there's nobody around, so you're not going to disturb anyone. Hey, I'm just looking for an ancient astronomical reconstructed circle of wooden totems. But try saying that in Lithuanian, and try saying it to some irate man or woman who you find you've disturbed as you wander through the sand dunes, and they're just in their swimming cozies. Jemaiciu Alcas. But where exactly? Damn it. This doesn't give sufficient detail. If we walk up
this away, we might get lucky. And I definitely wasn't trying to get lucky with any of those folks in the sand dunes. It's called here the Samogitian Holy Grove. It's number 6 on the list. There, so we crossed the bridge. We're looking all around here for it, but we had to keep going. This is number 4, that modern sculpture area, which is called the Stone Age Sculpture Park. Yes. Anyway, we found it. And I'll go and have a look at it in a minute, but I'm just holding off for the time being because somebody's up there looking around themselves. And the thing is, it's the kind of site where you don't want other people around. It's probably frustrating when you go to somewhere like Stonehenge. I'm not suggesting this is on the scale of Stonehenge, clearly, but you really want to be at Stonehenge on your own. Not with a crowd of tourists. Not with other tourists who are going to be walking around, talking, blabbing, laughing, joking. There are some more things to see. Sventoji lighthouse. I think I saw that what was probably a lighthouse. I'm used to lighthouses being really close to the sea, but perhaps things have changed over time. And these sand dunes have built up since the lighthouse was originally conceived to be ideally situated right here. Maybe. There's another sculpture, the Baltic Dawn sculpture, all the way down this road. Well, let's see what progress we make. But to be fair, I don't want to hang around too long. Because it could be the guy's just taken his t-shirt off and decided to get a bit of a tan. You never know. We're a bit sheltered from the sun here. And just to prove I got here and didn't send somebody in my stead, and I just narrated afterwards, here I am. Yes, it was me. I did do that walking around, looking in sand dunes, finding random lone sunbathers. And yes, some of the ladies were topless and it was embarrassing again. You know, if they know the spot's there, if they find the spot, don't they think to themselves, well, maybe somebody could just randomly come across this spot as well. Perhaps I'll not take my bra off. What do I know? I'm just glad I wasn't shrieked at. Right, I'm not waiting any longer, I'm afraid. I just can't. I'm a busy man. So the Samogitians. What do I know about the Samogitians? I can tell you what I know about the Samogitians. Very little. And that might make you think, he hasn't done much background reading, he hasn't done his homework, has he? He hasn't even sort of made any kind of effort, really, to give us any insight. Well, the problem is, nobody knows much about the Samogitians. Honestly, that is the situation. They are classified as a mysterious peoples because they didn't leave much behind. In fact, I'm surprised they even left this behind. And did they? There's a notice here which might give us some, it gives us some great information in Lithuanian. So there we are for Lithuanian viewers. Knock yourselves out. You've got all the information you need. For the rest of us, we are left to puzzle in awe. And here are some of the names of the gods. which have been carved. I thought it was vandalism, but well, I suppose it could be, but I think these are the names of the gods. Because Velins, I think, was one, and Patuls is another. They're the horny gods. There's a snake god there. And a god named Mianulis. Something to do with the moon? I wonder if the originals back in the 15th century, the early 1400s, had taken the trouble to engrave the original woodwork with the names of each of the gods, just for clarity's sake, for future tourists who come along, or people who want to come along at a later date and reconstruct the wood because it's rotted. But when you think this has been out since 1998, this is standing the test of time pretty well, I think, for the last 25 years. Kudos where kudos is deserved, I think. And somehow they could calculate using the stars, the moon, the sun, when it was Christmas Day. Could they? Austia, Ondinis. Something went wrong here. Something definitely went wrong here. Lithuanian pagans came and made their mark. Not only did they make their mark, they left their mark. Me and the three stooges, or maybe it's three gods and one stooge. Yeah. That might make more sense. I'm glad I came up and didn't wait any longer, because clearly the man in the white t-shirt had a quick nose and then decided to move on. So I could have been a silly chump down there, waiting forever. Now, has he moved on because he knows there's another cool place a bit further along? Take it to the bridge. Stay on the scene. Like a backpacking machine. Yeah, I'm just making up the lyrics myself. At least I can't be sued by James Brown then, can I? Or James Brown estate if James Brown is dead. I can't keep track of all these celebrities who keep dying on me. Seem as though they stick around for your whole life, don't they? They've always been there. And then suddenly, they're dead. Who saw that coming? Tina Turner. Who saw that coming? Oh yeah, they're in their 80s. Yeah, but they're major celebrities. They're icons. They've always been there. They should be as immovable as those wooden totems we just saw. But they're not. Right. Oh yeah, I was going to see you back at the bridge. By the way, this little tourist attraction, another one, completely free. Nice. I'm glad I found it. Just bear in mind, if you do come on foot, like me, over the bridge,
despite having that big information board there, there's absolutely bugger all signposting to help you get from the bridge down there on this path, which is the one you actually need. We've come back over the bridge. We're going down, I think, let's go down Kopu, and then we will have to, we're kind of forced to just go down here, but we want to take a right on Priaplaukos for sure, because that's where we want to go next. Be nice to see the moles as well. We've seen a bit of moles already. Didn't mention the moles too much. But that is our next destination. I think, unless you can call that church our next destination. But I'm really thinking about this sculpture here. And then it's all so close. You've got the Sventoji lighthouse. Choices, choices. And what about this Baltic dawn sculpture? Am I going to be massively disappointed when I get there? Let's see, shall we? A memorial stone to commemorate the historical sails of the Lithuanian freedom fighters via the Baltic Sea in 1944 to 1953. What a position to be in if you're in the Baltics. What a choice. Communist oppression from Russia or fascist oppression from Germany. And you're caught in the middle, and you're wanting to fight for just your independent right to your own lands. One side will call you fascists, the other side will call you communists. And no, you're just wanting independence. Oh, well, it was a lose-lose situation for a long time, but as we speak, they've got their independence back again. And they've been enjoying that now for 30 years. Long may it continue. And more chalets, more holiday accommodation. I remember when this was all sand dunes.